In 1961, the Berlin Wall was created, dividing Germany. The following year, a group of young filmmakers released a manifesto at the Oberhausen Film Festival. They said, "The old film is dead. We believe in the new film." Over the following decades, a new generation of German filmmakers created vivid, rebellious work, navigating a space between identities and ideologies and drawing on established cinematic traditions while questioning their role in the Nazi regime. A broad coalition of artists with their own distinctive identities, they were drawn together by shared concerns for the future of Germany and a desire to probe into its past. The most well-known of this group are Werner Fassbinder, Werner Herzog, and Wim Wenders. But to understand the movement, we need to start at the beginning, with Alexander Kluger and Volker Schlondorff. Kluger was one of the signatories of the Oberhausen Manifesto. His films, like Artist in the Big Top, are stylistically experimental, playing with montage and voiceover to create aesthetic distance. In contrast, Schlondorff's film Young Turles is a much more grounded, realist drama, following the titular boy at a military academy in the pre-war era as he dispassionately observes the brutalizing of a Jewish pupil by older boys. The contrast between these two films shows the variety of new German cinema. While many of the films have contemporary settings, some are historical or even have fantastic elements. Some engage with traditional German cinema forms, while others are avant-garde. Mercurial writer-director-actor Werner Fassbinder was a prolific creator, completing 40 films and 2 television series in his sadly short career. His most well-known work, The Marriage of Maria Braun, tracks the fortunes of the title character throughout the economic miracle that West Germany experienced in the post-war era. Maria's marriage to a soldier, Hermann, is cut short by his return to the front and subsequent apparent death. She navigates a path through sex work into the business world, and despite discovering that Hermann survived the war, continually fails to fully reconnect with him due to a series of obstacles. With its broad links to German historical events and its romantic storyline, The Marriage of Maria Braun was Fassbinder's biggest commercial success in Germany. But it's laced with irony. Maria's material success comes at the expense of her soul, and her multiple partners do little to alleviate her loneliness. To survive history, Maria becomes hard and cold.
Ist das jetzt draußen so zwischen den Menschen? So kalt?
Ich weiß nicht, wie die anderen Menschen sind. Ist eine schlechte Zeit für Gefühle, glaube ich. Aber mir ist es lieber so.
The film acknowledges that to live through historical events is to be injured by them, a communally experienced trauma. In contrast to Fassbinder's protagonists, the lead characters of Werner Herzog's films are typically fanatical, self-possessed men. Herzog is a veritable rock star of independent film, a conspicuously branded rebel right down to his self-made, pseudonymous surname. Like his self-assigned identity, Herzog's films are marked by a tension between documentary and fiction elements, reflecting a broader agnosticism about medium present in filmmakers of this movement. His 1972 film, Aguirre, The Wrath of God, follows a group of conquistadors as they search for El Dorado. Running low on supplies, a small group splits off to explore downriver, and as conditions worsen, second-in-command Aguirre schemes to take over the expedition. The film was shot entirely on location, leading to a difficult production exacerbated by its temperamental star, Klaus Kinski. Frequent use of zooms, handheld camera, and water smeared on the lens gives the film a documentarian feel that contrasts with the period setting and religious fervour of the dialogue. The characters are dwarfed by the natural world, with danger never far away. The expedition's attempts to bring a particular concept of civilization to the rainforest are often absurd and eventually end in violence, as attempts to convert the native inhabitants to Christianity go awry.
Sagt, es spricht ja nicht.
Bringt ihn für diese Lästerung um!
Aguirre's quest eventually goes beyond El Dorado. Unable to find the city, convert locals, or even keep his men alive, he rejects order and rationality entirely, slipping into madness. Many early German filmmakers emigrated to the USA before the Second World War, and their American films in turn influenced the new German cinema. Fassbinder, for example, loved the ironic melodramas of Douglas Sirk. But while Wim Wenders flirts with the iconography of Hollywood cinema, his films are rooted in a new German cinema approach to identity. He describes his third film, Alice in the Cities, as a turning point in his filmography, a moment where he found his voice. It begins with German journalist Philipp Winter drifting through America, trying and failing to capture reality through his lens.
Hey man, what you taking pictures for? The owner won't like it.
Es ist doch nie das drauf, was man gesehen hat.
A German airport worker strike and a chance encounter with a woman, Lisa, leads to Winter taking her child, Alice, to Amsterdam with instructions to meet her there. When Lisa fails to arrive, Philip and Alice take a road trip through Germany, searching for Alice's grandmother's house. Despite the Hollywood structure of a road movie, the film uses visual language from documentaries, utilising long point-of-view shots from the hood of the car and focusing on characters' experiences of seeing and representing images. Philip avidly consumes American culture, but can't quite decide if he likes it. He rages at television, but enjoys a Chuck Berry concert. These tensions continue throughout Wenders' work, and reflect a wider preoccupation with American cultural influences in new German cinema. Fassbinder's death in 1982 is often marked as the end of new German cinema. 20 years after the Oberhausen Manifesto, the movement had revitalized German filmmaking. It launched the careers of multiple directors, some of whom, like Wolfgang Petersen, transferred to Hollywood. And it gained international acclaim, including Germany's first Oscar win for Schlondorff's The Tin Drum. The manifesto's aim had been achieved. German cinema was no longer synonymous with propaganda, but with bold, creative films.